Good afternoon, the esteemed chair, the dignitaries, and my friends, students, all of you. We are here in this conference, these mind-boggling things happening here. A lot many science, technology, a lot many other things happening. But I'm going to take it to the ground level, the level I belong to. Yeah. I take this opportunity to congratulate Honorable Vice Chancellor for his holistic and sensitive vision for Rishihood University, including the name of the university. It connects our roots, It connects our background. It connects to our heart. So many things can happen all over the world, but we need to care our own people at the grassroots level. The things you've been talking about is all about all machines, programming, how much the core people are getting involved in it. It's a big question for me. As a designer, I'm in this field since more than 35 years. And when Madam Wala called me up to speak something about, I said, leave it to me alone. Let me see the students, how they are reacting, and the things they're taking of their own. Here I congratulate the team of School of Creativity, along with Dr. Manika Walia, to choose the most appropriate topic of today's time, identity. What's your identity? Did you ask yourself? The big question mark. We are becoming robot, mechanical robot, controlled by the machines, technologies. And are we creating a kind of people to confront us all the time? Technology should be there for our betterment. We are not there for their betterment. I'd like to remind you that we are all human beings. We are born out of Panch Tattva. We will be here all the time. Centuries goes by, comes back again. Things are changed. Change doesn't mean that we need to bow down to them, to take everything, whatever the technology takes over. First of all, I feel technology, so whatever thing happening here, that should help us, not to destroy us. So I'm on to speak here before you. I studied fine arts, started my professional journey as any other artist to survive. I studied in MSc Baroda, did my master's from there, back to Delhi. And all of it, like it was a matter of chance, that I think most of us believe in destiny. Destiny brought me in this grassroots crafts level. At this level, since last so many years, I'm practicing, teaching, seeing the world, going to the villages. So whatever I'm speaking from my heart, not from any bookish knowledge. That you can avail from the books, from the internet, whatever. But whatever my eyes perceived, seen the world, I'll speak in that language. I think that will communicate better to you. So I started my journey at the Central Cottage Emporium when I came back to Delhi. It was, very surprised for me, being a fine artist, doing modern art, realistic art and all that. And going to the roots, the crafts, design, lot many things. It's a big surprise. But I adopted that life. I thought I need to think of my people. What are the people? The people, 80% people living in the villages and 20% living in the cities and all that. Are we the people to think of the 20% people? Or do you need to think about 80% people? What do you feel? Tell me, what do you think? We need to grow together. We need to be together all the time, as long as life demands. So life should go on. I got my identity as a designer who'd work with very crafts. That is when I see myself today as a craft designer. I found my new identity to be with the people, to work for them, and to make them sustainable activities to live on. Because I feel modernity and the tradition go hand in hand. If the real centuries, the time going by, and everything existed together. One way, science taking us to the moon, maybe to the sun. Well, ultimately, our feet's going to be on the ground. Where we're going will be to be on the ground. At least in the night time, you're going to have a good sound sleep at home in your room without any hustle. As the one very famous African leader, Pan-African movement leader, he said, a people without knowledge of past history, origin, culture is like a tree without roots. So we like to be tree out of roots. We need to be grounded all the time. Whatever the innovation, whatever the things we'll be doing, somehow we need to see ourselves where we are. Identity is a complex concept that encompasses many different aspects of our lives, including our culture, our history, our traditions. One way we can explore, celebrate our identities through our traditional knowledge, the craft practices, the music, the culinaries, all different aspects to make all these things our life beautiful. Of course, it is improvising day by day with a lot many other things. But the things that we need to be sensible, we need to be sensitive, our own, the system we have adopted since so many centuries went by, stage by stage, and things are, we need to, this high time, we need to preserve. Because I've been to other countries, I saw there the things happening. In Middle East, I found they're trying to call people, please, practice craft. We don't have anything to show to the world. Whereas in India, every village, every house, having so many things, but we're not bothered. Why? Big question mark for me. We need to bother a lot. Because we are the people. Our support system should be work together to build a good society. I think when you're busy, I don't think you don't have any other thing, any obstructive thing to think about. If you're busy, everything will be well, good, peaceful, nice manner. You can spend your time with friends. So here, the craft is a vital part of the agriculture. It may be India or any part of the world. The difference is that India has been able to preserve it to a very great extent through centuries. Throughout history, communities have developed their own unique crafts, techniques, passing them to generation to generation. These crafts are not only a way of creating beautiful objects, but they have also embodied the history, tradition, values of the community that created them. It is to understand every craft, whether written words, speech, poetry, music, visual arts, cuisine, as all created with a purpose. There's nothing is created without the purpose. Life demands so many things. Sometimes we like to listen to music. Sometimes we like to read a newspaper. Sometimes we need to move out to have fresh air. Our life demands so many things, which all other things cannot fulfill that. That within you, with this ecosystem, you're growing, evolving everything within yourself. And day by day, you're getting maturity from childhood to this stage. I think only the human being from the childhood, they need to be taught how to work, how to eat, how to read. I don't think any other species, animal, the plant life, do we have this kind? Do you have any knowledge? Plants having a teacher to teach them, or animals? But human being, we are superhuman being. We can think and we can do it. Just like, reaching to the moon, reaching to the Mars. Because we have a super brain to activate, to work on it. and to implement it. Implementation is a very important thing. The things you think, you need to implement, you need to do it, prove it, so that it gets a success story. Without implementation, you can't get success story. Joyfully adopting our traditional crafts practices, our cultural culinary tradition is a way to celebrate our identity, connect with our cultural heritage, and these practices allows us explore, express our tradition and values. And this very important thing I'd like to tell you here, the current National Education Policy, NEP 2020, has laid great emphasis on the rootedness pride in India and its rich, diverse, ancient, modern culture, knowledge system, traditions, to quote from experimental learning section of NEP 2020. All integration is a cross-curricular pedagogical approach that utilizes various aspects and forms of art, culture as the basis for the learning of concepts across subject. As a part of the thrust on experimental learning, art-integrated education will be embedded in classroom transition, not only for creating joyful classroom, but also imbibing the Indian ethos through integration of Indian art, culture in the teaching, learning process of every level of our life. This art-integrated approach will strengthen the linkage between education and culture and our heritage. So I invite School of Creativity to further emphasize each one of you to adopt at least one craft, then adopt the village and create wonders through your professional creative skills. Thus build your new proclaimed identity that you can never be tarnished. In the present time, design education, traditional skills can be evolved and support, guide the students the meaningful creative activities to cherish their life. Learning, educational learning, is maybe thinking for your jobs, your livelihood, but education to give it yourself, what I am today and what I need to be tomorrow. What my success story? That need to explain by yourself, not anybody else. To sum up, the tradition and the modernity requires to go hand in hand and have a synergy for a sustainable development for better society. Thank you so much.